apologize about being out last week. We've had a busy caseload at work and had some long underway days with some stressful days in there. Then I ended up seeing family, and we're currently searching for a house and under contract. And I think if anyone's ever bought a house before, this is my first time. You know how busy and kind of stressful it can be. So everything, just life has just been busy, especially the last 2 to 3 weeks. So I apologize about my tardiness, for not sending out the agenda on time and missing last week's meeting. So I heard it was a good meeting. Sounds like we had a guest, Cole Andrews. So I definitely would like, for us to reach back out to him via email, and we'll just touch base with him, and hopefully we can get him to come back. So I did get a email this week that says that we are under our healthy club status for members. And so we got assigned a club coach. I thought it was Brandon O'Brien, but now it looks like it's another guy named Wes Hillstrom. We've been corresponding through email. I asked him to join our next meeting so we can introduce him to everybody and maybe get his feedback as a club coach on how to maybe, grow membership. But to be honest, clubs everywhere are struggling. The Gulf Breeze one, he was the club coach of, shut down. A lot of clubs are shutting down right now just because of the online environment and just different things. So I appreciate everybody's, continued dedication to this, and hopefully we'll be able to get back to meeting here soon. So that leads me into, hybrid meetings. Hasn't been the easiest task to find some place that's not astronomically priced. Fuse Factory has not gotten back to me. I will be calling them again, but they were still waiting on the okay from the boss. But even it is like a lot of money just for meeting one time. But I'm just waiting to hear back officially. Maurice talked to another place in West Mobile, and I guess they're saying like $50 an hour or something like that. So that too is just a little much. And so anyway, I'm still trying to figure out what to do with meeting hybrid right now. But it's been kind of tough, to be honest, especially with people wanting to charge a lot of money. Other than that, I think the last thing I have is Maurice did pick up our equipment from Carpe Diem. And so we do have our computer, we have all of our banners, and we have everything else. So when we do find a spot to meet, hopefully, not hopefully, we will have everything. So with that, does anybody have any club business they would like to share?
I'll just mention that I think Carrie and I met that Wes fellow. I think he was in some speech contests with us, and he seemed like a really nice guy. So
great. Yeah, he's reached out a couple of times to email, and we spoke, and so I've really enjoyed talking to him so far. So that's definitely good to hear, and hopefully he'll be meeting us, joining us next meeting. I'm waiting to hear back from him, but I wanted to introduce and let him share his thoughts with the club. Anybody else? Carrie?
Hello, everyone. I am your money collector again, and please make a payment. $55 in total, $45 for the membership fee, and $10 for local club fee. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Carrie. And that kind of goes back to our membership. So I did reach out to Carrie after I got that email and ask, how many people have paid or are people still have not paid, because that does reflect how many members we have. So if you haven't paid, please try to make that a priority and get the payment done, and that way it'll definitely reflect in our club numbers. Okay, anybody else? All right, so we will go ahead and begin the meeting. So good evening, fellow Toastmasters. And I would say guests because I saw Kyler and Cheyenne had their cat involved, but I don't see the cat anymore. So, so we will go ahead and begin our meeting tonight. And before we get started, I'm going to turn it over to Cheyenne for our invocation and our pledge.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our second meeting in March. Second. My invocation today is a quote that I heard today, and I was like, oh, it's really good. So I'll just summarize what it said. But it was saying, push yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. So it's just a short video where it was just talking about how no one is going to tell you, hey, you should stop watching TV, or hey, you should get up now, or hey, you need to do this, that, or whatever. Like, you have to do it. And it was saying, like, if you only do things when you feel like doing them, you're not going to get much done. Which is helpful for me because I like to have very, very numerous restful days, but I have to make myself get up and do things even when I don't want to, and then it's kind of snowballs, and then you can get things done. So hope that is helpful for someone. And if we will put our hand over our heart, we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sorry if I was going too fast. There's like a lag, so I couldn't tell where everybody was at. Thank you.
Thanks, Shane. So now that we know that our roles are filled, we'll just quickly go down the list and do a quick introduction of our roles. So we'll start with Olivia, our grammarian, and for the word of the day.
Hello, good evening, Toastmasters and Cheyenne and Kyler's cat. I am your grammarian, and my role tonight is to listen for misuse of the English language. And I will give my report at the end. And our word of the day is fallacy. Oh, hi, Mom. And the definition of that is, it's a noun, and the definition is a mistaken belief, especially one based on unsound argument. And the sentence is, the notion that the camera never lies is a fallacy. Back to you.
Thanks, Olivia. Next will be our table topics master, Majid.
Hello, everyone. I will be your table topic master for tonight. This section would be towards our impromptu speech practice, and we'll have volunteers answering this probably 1 to 2 minutes. And it would be hopefully a fun event. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thanks, Majid. I appreciate it. Let's see. So next we have our general evaluator, Tyler.
Greetings, fellow Toastmasters. I will be the general evaluator for the evening. So my role will be to just judge the meeting as a whole at the end of the meeting, and to call on the different people that are also the evaluators of the speech, and the all counters and timer. And back to you.
Thanks, Kyler. Next will be our timer, and that is Carrie.
Good evening, Toastmaster and the members. I am your timer tonight. Do we have a prepared speech?
We don't have a prepared speech, but we do have Donovan, and he will be speaking in speaker one spot with the education overview.
Okay. Should we timer him? Should we time him?
Sure. Donovan, about how long do you think your speech will last?
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Okay,
10 minutes.
let's say 2 minutes, Carrie.
Okay, 2 minutes. Let me do it again. Hello, everyone. I am your timer tonight. We have a table topics and the one sort of prepared speech. And all of them, all speakers should limit their remark to no more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, you see it's green. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, you see yellow. At 2 minutes, you will see, where's the red? Red. Now time your speech, the length of speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie. Next will be our all counter, and that is David.
Good evening, everyone. I will be your all counter for tonight. I will be looking for filler words such as you know, so, things like that. One of the biggest takeaways for me from Toastmasters has been observing filler words and catching myself doing it. I really make an effort not to. I don't always succeed. But it's amazing to me that even world politicians you see on TV will do the and it, to me, communication's more effective if we can do that, because as was told to me, silence is a very important part of communication. So we don't always have to fill every single moment. But if you do, I will be making note of it and I'll call you on it at the end of the meeting, but I'll do so in a very kind manner. Thank you. Back to you, Luke.
Thanks, David. And I am one of the kings of filler words, but it's when I started Toastmasters and the first club I was in, they would ding a bell when you would use a filler word, and it used to throw me off like really bad. Like my face would get red. I would like lose my train of thought. But the more I did Toastmasters, and then I would go to work and I would listen to people public speak, and I would just hear nothing but filler words the entire time. And it's funny because I never really noticed it until then. And so I think speech is definitely more effective without them. And it's hard for me to not use them, but I should definitely try harder.
When I started at the Hilltoppers, they had a little like dog clicker, like a dog trainer clicker.
Yeah, it's tough. Like I hate that bell. Like it really just threw me off so much that and I didn't. Okay, and I just said another filler word. Our roles are filled. We have gone over the what each role does. So without further ado, we will go to our first speaker tonight and our only speaker tonight, and that is Donovan. And Donovan, thank you very much for volunteering to do an education overview. When I got on Easy Speak, he had already requested it, and I really appreciate that. So Donovan, I will turn it over to you.
Thank you, Luke, and thank you, everyone. Here is the picture of my education overview. Are you looking to improve your speaking and leadership skills? Do you also want to ignite your career? By thinking of those two questions, since 1924, Toastmasters International has helped more than 4 million people, just like you. Toastmasters International is a world leader in communication and leadership, which is really important to actually think about. Leadership development with more than 345,000 members in over 15,900 clubs in 142 countries. Toastmasters all efficient, enjoyable, affordable. But it's also a way gaining great communication skills. Let's see if you can learn how. Here are a few steps that will help you to avoid any fallacies as well. 1. Formally express your ideas effectively. Try to have more persuasive, confident while you're giving presentations, like what I'm doing now. Improve one-on-one dealings with others. And become the speaker, leader that you want to be. Like being confident, being a charismatic leader. That's how, by being born that way. Next, progress Toastmasters will help you to practice your skills by organizing, conducting meetings, and motivating others. And my last point I would like to say is become a better negotiator, gain trust, inspire team. The last thing I would like to, as my conclusion, I would like to go ahead and say that what I just went over, good recruiting tool to get more people joining Toastmasters. It's really important, and hopefully you got a lot of good things from this. And thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Donovan. I appreciate that education overview. And like I said, thanks for volunteering to do that. So you brought up a good point, and I just wanted to, so I actually Googled this because you were talking about how many countries, have the clubs and how many people are involved. And some of the biggest companies out there literally have Toastmasters within the company. And so some of the big companies, some of the major ones is Bank of America, Caterpillar, FedEx, General Electric, JP Morgan Chase, Lockheed Martin, like Chevron, Texaco, and Exxon and stuff like that. So a lot of these companies really, Toastmasters is a foundation in them, and for good reason. And so anyway, I thought it was a really good education overview, and and I really appreciate it, so thanks. Okay, so next, and we will just move right along to our table topics, which is the best part of the night. So Majid.
Hello, greetings, Toastmaster and future Toastmaster Mo. Okay, I just wanted to iterate a few points that I noted seems very interesting, like how it was just mentioned in educational overview. We are here to improve our speaking and grow our, the field that we are in, our our skills and how effectively we try to express our ideas. So we learn how, especially in this section of the table topic, where we have few minutes, we have to organize, that was mentioned in one of the topics, organize yourself and express your thoughts. So these are, and you do it impromptu. So that's good. I was able to correlate the educational overview with these, some of the skills that we need immediately. And also inspiring the team, get more people into Toastmaster. Yep, these are some action items that I'm leaning behind, but yeah, we need to work as a team to motivate each other and grab more attention from outside and from inside. So without further delay, let's jump into our table topic. I'm going to explain a little bit and then I'll ask for volunteers. So you have just authored a book and now you're promoting your book and asking us why we should run to buy your wonderful book. And it's not a Mickey Mouse series, it's a little challenging name out there. So I think you guys would do good. So I want a volunteer to see who want to go first. Who is my first author? Okay, thanks, Jonathan. You're, hold on just a second. Sorry about that, Jonathan. So the book that you have just authored is Surrounded by Idiots. This is one of the 4 selling book in Amazon, Surrounded by Idiots. So if you could give us what's special about this book and why we should run to buy this book.
Did you say the Iliad?
Idiot. Yeah, idiots. Surrounded by Idiots. I'm sorry, this was the first book came up when I checked the worst selling books in Amazon.
Okay. Hello. My campaign is to sell a book to idiots. So think by thinking, come and get this book. This book will help you not be an idiot. By being an idiot isn't a good thing. But if you want to be a better person, a better speaker, a better friend, and a better businessman, if you're a businessman, come and get a book. It's important to be able to be literate. By being literate, you'll be educated, you'll be interested, and you'll also be amazed because you're traveling around in books. By being in books, you're traveling all over the place. And by traveling over the places, by reading books, then that means you're not an idiot. You're just someone who is interested in books and who wants to read and learn more things in books, which will help you to be able to see it in a more literate way. Thank you. Back to you, Majid.
Thanks. That was a very good explanation. I thought that it would have been hard to give that very good explanation that you carved out, especially from that challenging book. not to be one, and educate yourself. That was, yeah, and be amazed by book. Yeah, that's very good explanation for that book, and encouragement to buy that book. Thanks, Jonathan. Let's go for the second volunteer. All right, Shian, thank you. So we begin at the end. That's the name of the book. We begin at the end.
Begin. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to my book reading today. I would like to introduce you to my book, We Begin at the End. So this is a kind of a self-help book to help you realize your goals and things you want to accomplish and how to get those down and then work backwards to achieve those things. Everyone gives you self-help books where you start at step 1 through 5, but I think the most important thing is to start at where you want to be and then work backwards from there. You know, a lot of, like I said before, a lot of books may not agree with me. They say start from 1 to 5, but obviously those books aren't working. So I have brought you a different approach. I have brought to you a different approach of how to achieve things. I think that sometimes we can go through life and we can have tasks that we do and we'll just say, oh, well, I hope I end up somewhere good, or I hope this turns out for the best, but we don't take the time to realize what our actual end goal is and see. So obviously this wouldn't apply to all situations. If you go to run a 5K or a marathon, you can't go to the finish line and then tell them you want to do it backwards. But for life and for achieving and being the best you, starting at the end, beginning at the end and going backwards is the way to go. Thank you. The copy is $14.95 and they're all signed. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. That was a good selling point. And of course, the price is very reasonable, seems like. For as you started, that was a good start. I've never thought it being that way. Could be that book really be that way, that it's a planning guide, how you start from the back where you want to be and then work yourself backwards and set your goals accordingly. So if you want this much amount of growth, so you need to grow every month this much, or yeah, it's a good correlation. All right, thank you, Cheyenne, for that wonderful explanation. Let's move on to our third volunteer. Third volunteer who can sell a book. All right, I see one hand up there. Hi, Tyler, thanks for being volunteer, and the topic of your book is bear versus shark. Bear versus shark. I don't know what's the correlation. That's why it is there. Bear versus shark.
Like B-E-E-R, like the drink beer?
No, B-E-A-R, the animal bear. Bear versus shark.
Okay, I gotcha. All right, greetings, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. I am a on-the-ground investigative journalist, answering the questions that you, the people, have always wanted answered, but you know, those liberals on TV won't take the time to figure it out. So I sat down and had beer with a bear and a shark together at the same time. Now, it was difficult to get the shark to sit in the chair because he kept slipping out due to his flipper. However, once strapped down, he was angry, but he did remain in the chair. So the bear and I and the shark obviously had some issues with there not being any water because he's a liberal. Anyway, so he had to have the water. Anyway, I'm sorry. So as time progressed, the shark had less and less to say in the conversation due to the lack of water. However, the bear and I had a great time. We discussed the old saying, sometimes you eat the bear and sometimes the bear eats you. And luckily, this time I ate the bear. and I was successful in consuming the bear before he could consume me, and I was able to write this book. So this is a book for go-getters. It's for people who want to defy the laws of physics. It's for people who don't care about anybody but themselves and, and what they can do. And this will give you the willpower to eat a bear and then write a book about it. Back to you.
All right.
I'm apolitical. Too. I just had to add that because I feel like every overly opinionated person sprinkles that in there.
Thank you. That was a good insight about bear versus shark. So, and as you mentioned, it's more opinionated. Like you could break. It's more like a break the laws of physics. You know, you could have your willpower and imagine further and beyond and carve yourself. So that was good that you broke the physics in your thought and in your answer and make your own point. All right, let's go to the fourth volunteer. All right, David, thank you. And this one is Observatory Mansion. Like it's a mansion, but it's observatory. Observatory Mansion.
So it's an an observatory mansion.
Observatory Mansion, yes.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I have written a book entitled The Observatory Mansion. It is a humongous mansion that is fascinating, so fascinating that I wrote a book about it. And I love observing it through my binoculars from a distance because I don't actually live in the mansion. They have trespass warrants against me, so I can't go visit it, but it is an incredible work of art. I've taken many photographs about it. The police have confiscated some of the photographs, but the ones that I have are going to be in the book. And you will find that this story is fascinating because if you've seen soap operas where the rich and famous live in these incredible establishments and they have these wonderful lives, that's all in the book. The book is about these people, and there's a libel suit against me for that, but nonetheless, it's in the book, and I'm going to use the proceeds from this book to pay my legal defense in this case so that I can hopefully stay out of prison. Please buy this book because it's going to keep me out of prison. Thank you. And back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, David. We hope we sell this book good and keep you out of trouble. And that's good that you don't live in there. It looks like an observatory mansion. Are more like a haunted ones. To me, it looks like maybe a haunted one. And yeah, intruding in especially maybe those haunts would put a case or get you in trouble. So that's good. You were just observing them. So, okay. Do we have time for another one? I don't have in this one, but I have a different category. I don't know. Or shall we move on to the next section of the meeting? Anybody wants to advise?
Hey, Majid, it's Luke. I know I lost you guys on video. My internet went down, so I'm just strictly talking over my phone right now. I'm trying to get the internet back, but I just can't do it. It's not logging me on.
Hey, sure, no problem.
I think we're probably good on time. It's 7:28, so we'll go ahead and move on to the evaluation portion.
Thank you. With this, I'll relinquish the lectern back to Toastmaster Luke. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Majid, and thanks for doing something fun and interesting. I think the last time you were the Table Topics Master, you did the same, so I appreciate that. So moving on to the next part, and I'll keep working on my internet here and see if I can get it back. But we will move on to our general evaluation and our evaluators. So I will introduce Kyler.
Greetings, fellow Toastmasters. This evening, I will be the general evaluator, and I'll try to avoid any more filler words best I can. So I will give my impressions of the meeting after the other evaluators go. So first, I'm going to start with David, the odd counter. So David, you're up.
Thank you, Kyler. And good evening again. I was your awe counter for this evening, and I've come up with some notes. First, I'd like to say that just as a general observation, we typically don't do awe counting on, or we only do it on speeches, but I've noticed people in their other roles tend to sometimes use more filler words informally, and just an observation, it's just something to be aware of. But I'll start with myself on my table topics. I don't recall using any filler words, but I may have. If anybody noticed any, just let me know. For Donovan's educational overview, I did not detect any filler words whatsoever. For Donovan's table topic talk, he did at one point said so, and then he went into to the talk, but that was the only word I detected that could be interpreted as a filler word. So that was very good. And I just said so. For Cheyenne's table topic, I detected one so also, and she also said a you know, but it was almost like it was part of the sentence. Like she said, you know what I'm talking about, something along those lines. So I don't know if that would really, I guess there is some situations where you know could be a legitimate part of a speech. So maybe we won't count that one. And for Kyler's table topic, I detected one you know, two so's, and about four ums or us. But that's actually pretty good for Kyler. So very good. I think that's an improvement. And that's what we look for here are improvements. You know, progress, not perfection is the way I've heard it described. Let's see. Carrie and Olivia did not do any table topics, and Majid was our table topics master. And so I think I've covered everyone that spoke in a speech this evening. So thank you, and back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, David. And I appreciate that. Knowing that I said a few less filler words is encouraging. Right now, trying to not say filler words feels like holding my breath. Like I feel it, you know, wanting to present itself, and I'm just not going to let it happen. So next we have our grammarian, Olivia.
Good evening, everyone. And my role as a grammarian tonight, it would be a fallacy if I said that I heard any misuse of the English language. So congratulations to you, Donovan, Cheyenne, Kyler, David, on your speeches and education overviews. You guys did very well with your grammar. Back to you, table topic. I'm sorry, back to you, General Evaluator. Thank you.
All right, and then I'm going to call on our timer, Carrie.
Good evening, Toastmaster and the members again. Tonight, we have Donovan made two speeches. That's great, great, great. In the first speech, 4 minutes and 23 seconds. In his table topic speech, 1 minute and 55 seconds. Cheyenne, 1 minute and 40 seconds. Kyler, 1 minute and 48 seconds. David, 1 minute and 24 seconds. We all did very well. Thank you. Back to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Carrie. As far as my general evaluation goes for the evening, I think we did really well. We started off a little bumpy, had started a little late. I know we were having some technical difficulties with Zoom, so it wasn't anybody's fault, but I think we handled that really well. I like how Luke, sorry, I see your name, James, on the screen, so it's tempting to say that. But anyway, so Luke took control of the situation, and he was, natural leader, natural president. And, he and Donovan worked together. The whole team kind of got together and made sure that Zoom was working and that we could all be here together. I like that we all just came together and worked on that. Worked out. I like the table topics that Majid did. They were different and creative. It was more, on the spot, quick thinking salesman type stuff. If you think about it, a salesman is sort of a speech artist. They can sort of, there's an old saying that a good salesman can sell anything. And I think that's one of those things that has a little bit of truth. I think if you're selling something good, it's a lot easier to be a good salesman. But if you're selling something rough and you're a talented speaker and you're not worried about the repercussions of what you're selling, then you can use your speaking talents to kind of make up for the lack of product. So that was a good way to challenge our thinking and put ourselves in that position, because that's not a position many of us are in. The last thing is, Donovan, I really like your new camera setup. It looks really good. I can see you clearly. You sound very clear. So I know that's not necessarily a meeting thing, but I just want to say you got a great camera and a great audio system, and I'm glad you got it. So
thank you. Well, technically, I'm using my mom's computer right now because my computer is not working anymore.
Okay, I got you. Well, if you can use that one going forward, you sound crystal clear, and it's really easy for me to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. So with that'll be the end of my general evaluation, and I will turn the lectern back to Luke.
All right, can you guys hear me? Okay, I don't see myself. I got back in just now somehow, but I don't see myself, but you guys can hear me, but I can see y'all. So thanks, Kyler, for the general evaluation and the evaluators giving their evaluations of the meeting tonight. We did start a little late, but like Kyler said, I think, we all just kind of worked together just to make sure the roles were filled, and we, used the time wisely and started as soon as we can. And we're glad that, Donovan got on without any more issues. And I've had my issues logging on before. Obviously, I have my issues tonight with the internet. So, and let's see, Donovan, thanks again for doing your education overview and volunteering for it. I really appreciate that. And I want to say that I really do like your setup too. And maybe I need to work on my setup, because I know my backlighting is kind of dark and everything. So, but yeah, I think your new camera setup really works good. I think my favorite part of the night was listening to Kyler talk about a bear and a shark and him crack himself up. I thought that was, I was over here laughing. I had it on mute, but I was laughing, and I enjoyed your response to the table topic. And to be honest, I thought those were kind of hard. Like, I actually got a little nervous when Majid, told us that, you're going to be selling the book and everything. And then, to be honest, then everything cut off, and I didn't do it on purpose. But yeah, I enjoyed everybody's response, and I like Kyler's. And it was funny that he cracked himself up. And with that, I do have Carrie. Have you heard anything back about the speech contest date?
No.
Okay. I'll reach back out to Brandon O'Brien. He said that he was going to email me as soon as he got the date. And he was supposedly our club coach, but then Wes Hillstrom took over. So I'm going to reach back out to him. I'm actually going to shoot him a text once I hang up from this meeting. And so I might text you here in just a little bit. And other than that, that's all I got. We're about 7 minutes early. We'll just be respectful of everybody's time, and I appreciate everybody coming. Does anybody have anything to pass before we get off for the evening?
I'm not sure if Olivia have anything for the board behind her, the Toastmaster 8. That's a good
That's
place.
I had to hurry
Maybe
and race. I do, as a matter of fact, now I do 3 Zoom classes, so I had to hurry up and erase that. So I just tossed that up there since I was sitting right in front of it. But that's it.
nice.
Nothing
Nice.
spectacular.
It's a nice board to grab. Yeah.
Thanks.
I'll just add that I wanted to thank Donovan as well for stepping up and doing an educational overview. I think we've all been pretty busy, but we all hopefully will get back to giving more speeches soon. And I really did enjoy the table topics. I think that was a great idea. Really interesting. So thank you, Majid. That's it.
And if anybody else has got any kind of ideas, I know Majid's come up with a couple different things, with the public speaking game, and then, some innovative, table topics. If anybody else has anything, like, look, if you have an experience at work you want to share with the club, if you have just something educational, like an educational overview you want to share, or anything, then you guys, please let us know. If you have even like a short speech or something that at work you're going to have to present or something, practice it here. That's what we're here for. Carrie, I know you've done your speech already, but keep practicing. If you want to do it every meeting, we'd be happy to listen and evaluate you every meeting. And so it's not just about speeches. If you guys have anything, we have the time to fill, and we can do that. So please let me know, and we'll make it happen. So, all right. Well, I just said about 4 filler words in a row. So, and let's just cap it off at 5. And I hope everybody has a great week, and we will see everybody on Monday. And I promise I'm going to send out the link and the agenda by Wednesday of this week. I truly apologize for my tardiness, but everything has really has been busy. So I really do apologize, but I'm gonna get it out earlier this time. All right. And with that, I hope everybody has a great week, and we'll see y'all next Monday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
All right. Bye,
Y'all
guys.
too.